You've probably seen those pictures, right? Or maybe even a video of the ocean at night where the waves crash, but instead of white foam, they're glowing with this incredible electric blue light. It honestly looks like something from another planet.
And when you see it, you can't help but wonder, what is causing that? Is it some kind of weird reflection, maybe pollution? Or could it actually be something alive?
Well, believe it or not, that magical sight is a completely natural phenomenon. It's this beautiful piece of science called bioluminescence, and it's one of nature's absolute coolest secrets. So let's get into it. The name itself kind of gives it away if you break it down. Bio, which means life, and luminescence, which means light. So put it together, and you get light that's made by a living thing. But what kind of living thing is big enough to light up the whole ocean? You know, when you see that huge shimmering glow, your mind immediately goes to something massive lurking under the water, something big enough to give off all that light. But the real story is so much more interesting than that.
So what's your guess? A giant glowing fish? Some kind of undiscovered deep-sea shark? Or could it be something you can't even see with your own eyes? Well, the answer isn't one big creature. It's millions and millions of tiny, tiny ones.
Say hello to the dinoflagellates. These are the microscopic superstars of this whole light show. We're talking single-celled organisms, so small you'd never see one on its own. But when they get together in huge numbers, wow, they create one of the most breathtaking sights on the entire planet. And among this group, there's one species that's especially famous for its glowing abilities, Noctiluca scintillans. But it has a much, much cooler nickname, sea sparkle. I mean, how perfect is that? This is the little guy mostly responsible for those glowing tides we all see in pictures. Okay, so we know who's glowing, but the next question is how? How in the world does a creature that small actually produce its own light? It all comes down to a really neat and surprisingly simple chemical reaction. So let's walk through it. First, something has to disturb the water. Think of a wave crashing, a boat sailing by, or even you just splashing your hand in it. That disturbance triggers a reaction inside the organism. A protein they have called luciferin mixes with oxygen. Then an enzyme called luciferase jumps in to speed the whole thing up. And bam, the result of that chemical reaction is energy, released in the form of that brilliant blue light. If that process sounds a little familiar, it should. It's basically the exact same science that lets fireflies glow in your backyard on a summer night. So you can really think of these dinoflagellates as the ocean's own fireflies, just lighting up the dark with their silent, sparkling show. But here's the thing. This is not just for show. Nature is super efficient, and this amazing light display actually serves a really important purpose. It's not about being pretty, it's about staying alive. It's a defense mechanism, and honestly, it's a brilliant one. Now, that might make you pause for a second. Why would a tiny little creature want to draw attention to itself by flashing a bright light in a dark ocean that's filled with things that want to eat it? It seems like a terrible idea, right? Well, scientists have a fantastic name for the explanation, the burglar alarm theory. Think about it. A burglar breaks into a house and trips an alarm. The sound doesn't physically stop the burglar, right? But the loud noise and flashing lights totally startled them and, more importantly, call the police. That's exactly what the dinoflagellate is doing. So picture this. A small predator, like a tiny shrimp, comes along and tries to eat one of our sea sparkles. As soon as it's touched, the dinoflagellate flashes its bright blue light. This sudden flash can startle the little attacker and make it back off. But here's the genius part. That flash also acts like a beacon in the dark, and it attracts a bigger predator, like a fish. That fish then swoops in and eats the shrimp that was trying to eat the dinoflagellate in the first place. The alarm worked perfectly. The little guy is saved. It's so smart. And you know what the best part is? You don't have to go to some super remote, hard-to-reach corner of the globe to see this for yourself. This incredible natural wonder happens right here on the coasts of India, especially in places like Lakshadweep and the beautiful beaches of Goa. The glowing sea is just such a perfect reminder that sometimes the most magical things in the world have a scientific explanation that's even more amazing than the magic itself. It really makes you wonder, what other secrets is nature hiding, just waiting for us to figure them out?